Hey guys, welcome back and in this video we are going to study about the Flutter web app, right? So we are going to build a simple basic Flutter web app, and I assume that you have a little bit knowledge about Flutter, right? So if you're not, I will prepare one tutorial for this, but first let's create one project for our web app. I will give this project name as a Flutter web application. So this will be a very basic static web app which does not have any hosting or anything. We will just prepare one basic layout of how Flutter web works, right? So till then this loads, I will show you how our web app is going to look. So guys, this is how our web app is going to look. This will have one static web page that is running our YouTube page. Suppose it has home, about us, and this option. So as you can you will squeeze this, this will automatically be responsive for mobile as well as desktop application. So it is pretty convenient, right? So let's start building this. Firstly, as I have created one Flutter web application, you will just create that one. This will automatically place main.dart file in your project, right? So I hope you also have activated web, and make sure this this is available in your project, right? So I will also give you the source code of all this project on GitHub and add this link into the description, so that if anything happens you can just refer that code. So let's start building our web app. So this is the basic Flutter application. So I will just show you how it will look on the web, as the Flutter web is very new and it is the most interesting part. That means we can build now even iOS app, Android app, and also web app through only a single line of code, means only a single source code, right? So this is a simple demo app. That is, we add this, the number will be added and it will be displayed on the screen, right? Pretty simple. It is very simple app, right? So let's get started to our main app that we are going to design, right? So let's come back, and here you can see we will just cut all this part because we are going to start from scratch, right? We will just remove this part from our project, and after removing this part left, but it's fine, right? So we are going to need that part in our project, right? So we will just add some. I will add just a stateless widget first for my home page, right? So this is our widget home. So my home page I will write here. So let's move further, and it is returning an container, right? So the pretty simple. So it is also returning a title, right? So we'll just delete that title from our project, right? So this is how this is one container and my home page. So we'll remove this container, and we will return one scaffold, right? So we are going to need a scaffold for this project. So we will just return one scaffold in this, and so yeah, simple. So just remove this container, and in just so yeah, now we will start further. That is, we will just add one body, right? So to our scaffold. So in this body we are going to return one navigation bar. Our app contains one navigation bar and one layouts, that is one image and also some text, right? So we will give container in our body, right? So basically container provides us the decoration and all this stuff. So we will import decoration. First we will add background color to our web app. So box decoration we will add, and we will add some awesome gradient colors to it, so that as you can see, the bluish effect is because of this gradient color. That is, we will select linear gradient here, and in the linear gradient make sure that you write that only code that I have mentioned, right? So we will first give it a beginning, that is, it will begin from right, or I think it will begin from left, right, and go up to right. So we'll write begin alignment dot. We will give it as, we will give alignment dot center left. because from left to right only we want gradient, so we will give it as center right. It will be more convenient, right? So and it will look awesome, so we will just give it an end also. So we will give it an end at center left, right? So it will look as it is showing up on my screen. So we'll give alignment for this end as center left, right? So in this tutorial I am not going to skip any step and take you and further steps, right? So you will see what are the errors that I face and everything like that, so that you can refer this code, right? So completely. So after giving and beginning and end, so we will add our gradient color. So this is an awesome gradient color that I have, that I will just copy and paste it here. So make sure that you only paste this color to apply the bluish effect in our website or web app, right? So you can just copy this code and you can add this. So there are many websites which provide this kind of gradient color. So we just remove this extra part from our code, so it will look clean, right? So let it primary source be blue only. So we'll just reload our website and I will show you how it looks now. So it looks pretty impressive, right? Because our gradient color is awesome, and there it is thinking okay. Till then it is all right. Our website is color is awesome, and it will not shrinking. Also color is not sliding here and there. So here it is up to the mark, right? So let's move on. Let's delete this debug banner first, because it makes no sense keeping it. So debug show check banner mode banner is false, right? So debug banner is gone now. So let's move on further, and we will just create another. So as you can see, debug banner is now removed successfully. So let's go and create something awesome to add out to our website. That is, we have to firstly create a navigation bar, right? So for creating the navigation bar, we need columns and rows, right? So generally we will do this in the new page. So let's give a container child as a column, right? So we'll give column, and firstly there will be our navigation bar, and then the body will be images and text. So just first create one folder, folder not sorry, file, and we will give it a name as navigation bar dot dart, right? So if you think that this tutorial is pretty much slow, and you can just fast forward the video, because my aim is everyone should understand what I am doing on the screen, right? So I will go step by step very slowly. Even if you don't know Flutter very well, you will understand this code, right? So we have just imported an material dot dart because it is necessary for building the widgets, right? So we will make a stateless class navbar, and we will add a child. So it is returning and container. So we will add we have to give a customized navigation bar for desktop and for mobile. If you are using a small screen, then we have to give a different navigation bar, right? So we will add a layout builder to our navigation bar, and this layout builder will return two types of navigation bar. First will be the desktop, and second will be for smaller screen. So we'll just write it's a builder, and then context and constraints. So we are going to work on these two things, that is the screen size. It will give us the screen size, right? So in context and constraints, we are going to write if loop. If statement. So in if statement, we are going to write if constraints dot has, there are many options available. So we'll pick width, right? So we are more interested in the screen size width wise. So is if width is greater than 1200, it will be fine, right? Because the more than 1200 I don't think it will work, right? So we have to return a desktop nav bar. So we will create one desktop nav bar. So and then also we have to create one for we will also add one if else statement. So else if we are going to add, so in this statement we are going to add if height is greater than 800 and less than 1200, then also we are going to return desktop navbar only, because it is convenient for iPads and all, right? So those who have medium size screen, it will be convenient for them also. So just constraints dot max width is greater than 800, and if constraints dot max width is less than 1200, because we have specified that for a greater than 1200 we are definitely going to return desktop navbar, so it makes no sense again writing it here. So if this is the case, then we have to return desktop navbar only, so not mobile navbar. So mobile navbar maybe for less than 800 height, right? So this is probably not. So we will just cut out this because we need a desktop navbar here. As you can see, more than 800 pixels and less than 1200 desktop navbar is very much convenient for them to use. So we'll return that only, and if these two possibilities are not possible, then we will give an else statement and we will return a mobile navbar. So as you can see, I have returned one mobile navbar. So it is going to give me an error because I have not defined what is this mobile navbar and what is the desktop navbar. So we'll create one stateless widget that defines a desktop navbar. So I will just write desktop navbar here, and we will return some elements here, right? So expected to find. So we will just cut out this and write this. So this is error because of I was writing colon, not semicolon. So yeah, these simple errors are going to come when you write the code, right? So let me fix this. So yeah, all fine. So let's come back to our desktop navigation bar. So we will implement here one child that is row, because we are going to provide elements in row, and in a row we are going to provide children, right, that contains widget. So we are going to add multiple widgets. So first is the text widget. So we are going to add text that will be a title of this page. That is, we are going to add here Rapto learning. We are making a website. We are trying to make a website for our YouTube channel, right? So new website. The previous one is not so efficient. It comes with an inbuilt so, and its style is we will add some style here for our text. So text, and then we will make it bold, and we will add some constraints to this too. So text style, and we will specify the text style in this column. So there are various text style available, that is background color and all this stuff. So we will just add here a background, and no, we will not add background. We have to give it a color, right? So we will just give it a color later. First we will add a font, that is font weight is the most important thing. The font weight must be around, I think font weight dot bold is sufficient, right? So no need to mention fully which font weight and all those stuff. So we will add now color, and color should be white, right? Because our blue matches with white very perfectly. So we'll add white color to this, and we will add some font size, and I will add some font size, that is I will show you what so I was thinking that 30 may be sufficient, right? So let's see, if we want to increase, we can increase easily, right? So let's do the further part, and here we come, that is expected to find a bracket, right? So let's search where have we missed our bracket. So we have added here and here, so we'll add it here. So yeah, error is gone probably. Yeah, so fine. So let's start. We will. Oh, this is showing. We are going to give a gap between else if. So let's do the further part. We have to add some home page and all those stuff to our row, right? So we'll implement another one row that will provide us the same things, right? So let's go through that. So we'll add another row that will be, so let's add one another row, and it will provide us with children only, because we are going to specify one button and three elements, three text elements, or four maybe. So let's see what happens. So let's implement a children, so we can add multiple widgets to a row. So in children we are going to give text, and in this text we are going to add home page. Home page is now, so we will add only home to this. And yeah, this is simple text, right? So if you want to link this page to another page, you have to use ink wrap this text widget in inkwell, right? So let's style it, that is text style, and then we will add some style. We will add it color. The color will be white, right? So white is the most effective color, and it matches with blue, right? So we'll add a white color to it, and it may look very fine, right? So let's start. So it is giving me an error. So let's see how our website looks now. So I have added all these things, so it is not working, right? So it is giving me an error in mobile nav bar. And also we will just add one, so we will just skip this because we are not going to use mobile nav bar here. So let's see if it runs or not. Yeah, this is the most stupidest mistake I have ever made, right? So we will add one navigation bar. We have not added any function or anything to call that one, so extremely sorry for this one, and I will not skip though. So let's implement this child as navbar, and we can call this navbar now. So let's see now, we will not fail probably. So let's see, hope for the best, fingers crossed, and let's see how it performs. So as you can see, the gradient has been mixed up, and the home and this thing is not working very well. So we have made this mistake here in the I think this mistake is not in the navigation bar. This mistake is probably in the main.dart file. So let's see how to correct that mistake. So let's add one more text. So there are total three text in our column, in our row. So it is the second is about page, that is about us, and the third will be probably a portfolio, right? For example, I will just show you, that is portfolio. So this is going to be giving me an error because I have not placed a colon in at the end of the text widget. So I will just put a colon. So yeah, that's right, all is fine. So let's run our code again, and let's see what mistakes are we making, right? So I will just mention one another stateless widgets for mobile navbar, and we will return nothing for that for now. So let's add mobile navbar to our navigation bar file. So we'll add that one, and let's see, it returns the, we will add one, we'll probably not going to add something in this because we have to make some changes for mobile view also, right? So let's see why our code is not working. So probably the error is somewhere here. So I have mentioned it in the decoration, that is box decoration, right? So we'll just cut out this one from this, and we will insert this nav bar through in our we will specify one child, and then we will probably insert one column here, and in this column I will return the nav bar. So in this column we are going to return nav bar. It is correct, or it will not work, so I am little confused. So we will just try out. Sometimes you just have to try out some things new that will work or not work. We will see that, right? So I will just return this. In this I will return this nav bar that we have created. So it will not do very much beautiful for now, but we will work on it, right? So stay tuned, and we will just our this is not probably giving us any error. So let's run that code again, and let's see how it is performing now. And I will show you the screen. Yeah, it is now showing the screen full and the nav bar also, because but the nav bar is all to the left, and it is not looking very much beautiful, right? So we have to provide padding to our row, right? So the next row, so we will add just a little here children widget here. So we will add this widget here for, and let's see for the base, and then we will add this also here. So let's reload the page, and let's see if this is working or not. So it will probably not work because we have not provided any type of padding between those two. So this is not going to work. So let's add some padding to it. So if we squeeze the screen, this is giving us an error, right? So we will resolve this error later, right? But first we will prepare a beautiful layout for our desktop nav bar, so it will look a little bit awesome, right? And we will be inspired a little bit to our work, right? So let's add. So as you can see, we have created mobile nav bar also, but for now we are not going to add anything to that. So let's come again to this desktop nav bar. Once desktop nav bar is created, you just have to copy and paste that into a row, right? So let's work on the desktop nav bar first, and then we will go slowly into this. So we will add constraints to our container, that is constraints, and then box constraint. We will add some box constraints to it, and we will give it max width, right? So we'll give max width as suppose 1200. So 1200 is sufficient, so we will give 1200 max width, and it's fine, right? So because 12 up to 1200 our this row and that all will work. So we'll give here you just have to create main. So no, that is not the case. We are going to give it a main axis alignment. So we'll give some alignment to it. So main axis alignment dot, and we'll add here space between, right? So it will give space between this text. So let's see what the changes have been made by this line. So as you can see, the changes are exactly as I have expected from it. So it is now separated very much, and it is now looking fine, right? So but now also we have to add some padding to this home, about us, and portfolio, right? So we'll add just a size box to it, and we will add it how much space we require between them, that is we will add width, and we will just write 10 will be fine, right? So no, I think that 30 will be sufficient, 30 size box. So let's copy this size box and paste it between about us and portfolio also. So I will just copy this and I will paste this in above portfolio, so that it will also be separated and it will look nice, right? So I will also add a size box at the end. So it is giving me an error, probably I have missed a semicolon for this text, right? So let's add that semicolon in this text. But first, let's see how much sized box has taken effect into our project. So this is perfectly fine. So as you can see, when you maximize the screen, it will show you some sort of blank screen, right? So we will fix that error also. So as you can see, when you try to squeeze our mobile navbar, as we have not implemented it, is not working, right? So let's try to implement some of the more feature into our we'll add a semicolon here and take this downwards, right? So let's add one button to our container, right? So let's start doing that. So as you can see, you can get the information by just tapping on the widget. So we'll wrap this container into a padding. So if you're using VS Code, then you should probably use control plus shift plus R for Windows, and command plus shift plus R for Mac, right? So let's wrap this container. We'll wrap this. So my VS Code is giving me a little bit of problem while adding, so just wrap it with the padding, right? So simple padding, and we will give this padding some of the inputs, right? So let's give this padding. So the padding should be constant, right? So it will be constant. So padding should be constant. We will edge insects dot all, and we will give a symmetric padding to it, and we will give vertical padding up to 20, right? 20 will be fine. So 20, and horizontal we will give as probably horizontal we should give 40, right? So let's move on further, and we will discover some of the most interesting features. So let's see how this padding works. So yeah, this padding works pretty well. So our pages are little bit segregated and organized, right? The website is looking very much organized now in comparison with the previous one. So let's add one button here at the end of the website that will be get started. So we'll just add a material button to it. So it will be a material button, and on pressed we will not give any activity for now. So let's leave this blank only, and let's move on further, and we will write here which color will be in my case color is dot. We will add pink will be pretty much effective and attractive color, so we'll choose pink here, and we will just add a colon at the end. And after adding color, we will give it a text. We will give it a text, right? So text will be probably get started or join with us, anything like that you can give. What before adding text, we will give it a shape, right? So we will give shape as a rounded rectangle border with, and we will write border radius as I think border radius dot circular border radius we are going to add. So mm, border radius should be dot all, and then radius should be at center, that is circular, right? So we'll add this circular, and then it will up 20 will be fine for our website, right? So let's see how this will look in our website. So let's do that. So yeah, let's look how it is looking. So we will add its a child and add some text. So text will be a user can see it, right? So we'll mention here get started, and we have implemented a button, right? So we'll write here get started, and then we will give this text a color and style, right? So we'll give style, and in style we will mention text, the text style, right? So in text add color to it, that is color should be probably white only. I think white is looking awesome in our gradient. right? So color will be white and everything is now set. And let's now have a look at our website. Oh, sorry, web app. So let's go to our web page, and as you can see, get started is showing, but it is not showing as a button, right? So for this, I think we have made here a mistake, that is on pressed we will not add one activity, but we will add this brackets and all. So let's see how this makes a difference. So as I have expected, this is because of that only, that is get started button is now in our website. So as you can see, when you scroll up to 800 pixels it will work fine, but when you go below 800, then it will give you an error, because our this navbar is trained to give an mobile navbar below 8. So let's implement one mobile navbar, so you don't have to make a lot of effort to adding a responsive UI in Flutter. You just need to add, this is a simple conversion of row to column, right? So it is pretty much simple. So I just created one column here, and in this column I will add this whole things that we have implemented as a row. So we will add all of them. So we'll go from here, right? So in this the first, that is children. So we'll copy all the content inside the children. So we'll just copy this all the content, and we will paste it in the column of mobile navbar. So as you can see, we have pasted it, and this is showing expected to find a parenthesis bracket. So let's see how this error is coming. So this is probably because we have now missed a colon or any brackets in here. So let's see how this is giving us an error. So sometimes you just need to look at the code, and this is a very simple mistake, right? Hour 2 hour, just look at it 5 minutes with full concentration, right? So you will resolve this. So I was probably missing the same colon after check, so we have to remove that. So as you can see, let's implement this, and this is giving us an error. So let's find where this error is coming from. So let's go into our project again, so and find the probable cause of this error. So let's minimize this, and we are going to look an error. So this is going to take some time, because I have to figure out where this error is coming from. So yeah, I got it. So this error is coming from, we have not added a return statement in our this layout builder, right? So I will just add a return statement to it, and let's reload and see if our navbar is working for the mobile view also or not. So this was a pretty simple error, but this may take experience many times. So don't ever give up, keep trying it, so the solution will come. So I will just show you. So yeah, it's working, right? So yeah, it's working very perfectly now. So now we have to resolve one more, the main error that was coming previously only, but we have avoided it for now, but we will resolve it now. So we will just decrease the size of this desktop navbar as its work is over. It has provided us very much. So we have here material button here, so it is not coming in center, right? It is scattered everywhere. So we'll just remove material button for now, and we will add it later in our this navbar dot file. So and let's arrange this all the terms in probably we will add this in center, right? So dot, we will write here center, and I think this should work. And let's see, we will just minimize the screen, and yeah, it is showing perfectly in the center, right? But this gap is very much less between our title and this home, about us, and portfolio page. So let's find out the probable solution to that. So let's come back again to our code. So here in the code, we will just add some of this padding. We will give this a gap between our title and this, and let's come to our code again and right here. So I will just decrease font size little bit. So and we will just add in the row column. Mm, So we'll just wrap this row with the widget, and this widget will be padding, right? So we have to give some padding to our text, and all the stuff we will do through padding. And in this we will give a padding, and this padding will be, so we'll give a little padding here. So many of you may think I am going very much slowly because I want everyone to understand the code, right? So if you have come here only for the website that I have made, then I have already given that link in the description below. You can go directly to GitHub and clone that project or copy the code and everything like that and add it to your project, right? Pretty much simple, right? So we have implemented padding edge insects.all and we have given 12. So this is looking fine, right? So it will be convenient to see the user in the mobile screen. So yeah, so our website has been prepared very much. So let's add some more features to this, and we will just, so as you can see on the below on the screen, there is a link to our Telegram channel. So please go and subscribe to our Telegram channel, because in there we are providing some most of the interesting Udemy and many courses for absolutely free of cost. The instructor provides us the coupons, free coupons, so you will get courses for free. Certificates are included in that. So pretty much simple, right? So we are going to give many paid courses also for lucky users. So for now we will wrap this container into padding, and we will give this a padding as we have given for desktop navbar, right? So horizontal 20, vertical 20 and horizontal 40, right? So this is looking very much convenient for the eyes, right? So this much our website is looking very much good, right? So we have to make the website best, and we will work on that. As you can see, the get started button is also working very fine. And let's add some fonts so that our title will look very much awesome. So let's search for before adding and choosing a specific font, I will just show you where we are going to implement. So we are going to implement this font for text styling our widgets in the web app, right? So let's do that, and we will give this to our title also. So I will give you the link of this website in the description below. Make sure to check this is an awesome website. This is provided by Google only. So we are going to use a monster rat called font for this project. So there are many font available, but only specific fonts are only available for the Flutter for web, right? So please choose the font accordingly, and we will download this family, and you just need to extract this somewhere in a folder so that you can import this easily, right? So pretty much simple. So this is the task you have to do. We just create one folder. We'll just create one folder that is assets, and in assets we will create another folder. So not file, we will create one folder. It is fonts, right? So and also we will create another folder for images. So we are going to add only one image to our project, so don't need to worry that our web app will become very much heavy and all those stuff. So as you can see, we are going to use Monsterhead Bold and Monsterhead regular in this project. So you just copy this and paste it into fonts of in assets, right? So you can place it anywhere, and you can create a separate project whichever name you like or anything like that. You just need to place that in your Flutter project only. So let's copy this monster at a bold and monster at a regular. As you can see, I have pasted this in the fonts folder, right? You have to paste this into font like I have pasted it. So I have deleted that images folder because it was coming in between. So let's create once again, that is images, and in this I have just created one, chosen one image from my PC only. So we will just give monster at regular also in the fonts, right? So just drag and drop this monster at regular also into the fonts folder that we have created in VS Code. So VS Code makes you very much convenient for adding those files. So you will just close this because we don't need them as of right now. So we will go into pubspec.yaml file. So be very cautious with these types of files, right? So we will just remove these comments by selecting and control and black backslash. So probably this family will be different for you, as I have already tried number of fonts that were not supported. So I have come to an conclusion that monsterette is supported. So we will just copy this, select this and copy relative part. You have to copy the relative part and you have to paste this part here, that is where this font is present in your file. So one more font we are going to add, that is monster at regular, right? So this will also, you have to copy relative path and then you have to paste that part here and save this project. The flutter pubget will be run automatically, and make sure that you don't need face any errors doing this. You just need to take care of the space you have given between the this arrangements in pubspec.yaml, right? So let's get started. And probably, so yeah, it is written with exit code 0, so it's fine, right? So we can move further. So if you face any errors, that means I will show you one type of error that you may face in common, that is if you move these fonts here, then we will get an error like so no, this is not. Yeah, these types of error I was talking about. Error on line 3, expected a key by parsing a block mapping. So this is the type of very common error you get when you run pubget in any project. So let's come to main.dart and add this font here also. So yeah, I have also made one simple mistakes in font. So let's move back to it and we will give it one space, right? So now it's fine. So I'll just run pubget and let's get back here and add a specific font to our project. So font family we will mention. Oh no, again I have to go and there is some spacing problem in this. So yeah, it will probably fix now. So we have to mention here font family, from which family we are going to use a specific font in our project, right? So we will mention a font family here, that is Monsterrat. We are going to use fonts from Monsterrat, right? So as you can see, the fonts will change probably. So I will just hot reload it and you can see the changes here. Yeah, it is looking very much nice than previous one, right? So it is looking very much impressive now, and text and font is awesome, right? So it is better than the classic one, right? Which is default one. And now as we have changed the fonts, I will just add one image that I have already used. So I have just added two images. First is this work image and this second one is our logo, right? So our logo and this image, so it is fine, right? So yeah. So we have to mention what images we have added. We will just copy this relative path and also add this in our pubspec.yaml, and we will also copy this relative path and add this to pubspec.yaml file. So as we have added, and we will run pubget. So I forgot to remove the hashtag and probably, yeah. So now it is giving me an error, so it might be a space problem only. I face these small errors many times, right? So don't be very much nervous. Keep trying, right? The solution will come. You just need to look at your code very seriously, and you should look probably more time. So let's come back, and it will probably return. Yeah, it has written with exit code 0. That means it is safe to move further. So as we have implemented mobile nav bar also, so as you can see, was the first problem we faced. We will solve this solution. This is pretty much simple solution, right? So as we were facing this, so we just need to get back to main.dart file, and in this file we have to give this navigation bar. That means the navigation bar is present here. So this is because these constraints are there for, so we will just see the problem is here, or we will find one another solution for that one too. So yeah, the problem was in the box constraints only. So for now we don't need the really need box constraints, right? So we are free to remove that, and we will remove that from our project. We don't need that because it is giving us an error. So let's try it out. We have tried it out, and let's implement another screen. Not screen actually, we are going to implement so let's create one another file that will provide us the layout, right? That is the landing page.dart. So we'll create landing page, and we will create here landing page.dart file, and we will implement our main UI in this screen, right? So this is pretty much simple. The hard part is finished, right? So let's move on to this, and we will implement a stateless widget here that that we will name it as landing page. So it will give us an error as we have not imported the material.dart library. So we will import that first. So we'll import material.dart, right? So easy, right? So we have imported material.dart file, and we will go into a container, and we will close this. We don't need this pages right now, so let's close that one, and we will only so here we have implemented the whole navigation bar. So let's cut out this also. Let's minimize this, and we are going to use layout builder only for landing page also, as we are going to use the separate screens for desktop view and mobile view. So let's implement that one first, and we have to return something else here because there are only two screens. That is we don't require the next if statement. So we will write here, that is return row, right? Row will be sufficient, right? So we'll return a row here, and in this row we are going to return the whole thing. That we will prepare a function that will return a whole thing. So what I am going to say, you will probably understand in the few minutes. So we'll give it a main axis alignment dot center. So it's fine, right? So we will give it children, and in this children we are going to call off a function, right? We are going to call, suppose the function name we are going to name it as page child, right? So we'll give it as page child. So here we will directly call page child for now. After that if we want to modify that, we can. So let's create a function. So let's create a list, basically not a function. So let's create a list of widget, right? So this will be a list of widgets that will return probably the text and the image, right? So page child, this we will name it as page child. So yeah, So we have implemented a list, and then in this list we have to return the return widget. So we will return widget here, and we will add elements to this list what we have to return. For this we have to just enter the elements into the square brackets, right? So we will return one container. In this container will be fine for our this images and text also. So let's implement a container, and this container will probably contain a child. So in child we are going to add color column, right? So we are going to add a column. For what I am doing, you just imagine how our website is looking now, right? So I am doing the column part. So wait, let me finish, and then I will explain what I have done, right? So in column we are going to give a cross axis alignment to this. So cross axis alignment dot end dot start, right? We'll give cross axis alignment dot start, and then we will return children for column, and these children will be probably widgets only. And in this widget we are going to add first will be the text, that the highlighted text as we have shown in the at the starting of this video. So website developers, so we are going to basically build a web app for website developers. So website developers, and comma style and everything like that. So probably you should give the title as this is not a very efficient title. And uh, so we'll implement text style, and in text style we will add. So as you have seen the previous video how to edit this, so I will just fast forward this part. We will done the text styling and all as we have done previously for our title, that is Rapto learning, right? So we will just implement font size on all those stuff. So right here we come, we have implemented all those. We will just add a page child to the children of the row are greater than 800, and if the constraints are less than 800 we will directly add the page child widget, right? So this is pretty convenient, right? So we will add our slogan here and this children, right? So we will again add. So as I promised, I will not skip any steps, so I am not skipping, I am just fast forwarding the video, because this part we have already done in the navigation bar section, right? So style and all those things, that is font, weight, color and all those stuff, right? Our this text has been prepared, so I have just added there are 3 responses to a design. This is slogan. So this is giving me an error, so let's try to resolve this error. So first we will return one column here, and in this column we are going to write here return here, or wait, this children, we are going to just copy this and we will paste this here, that is we are going to return page child here also in the form of children, right? So let's try to explore how our web app is working now. So it should work perfectly fine, right? So we have given navigation bar here, but we have not specified the landing page. So we will just add a simple landing page also here. So let's add landing page, and then so we have to import that file also. So let's import landing page. So let's import the landing page also. So we will import landing page dart file, and we will probably add this file to the project. So I've added it and there is gone now. So let's try to run our web app and see how it is looking now. So it should probably look good not the best one, right? So yeah, as I have expected, web developers, website developers, there are three types of, that is the slogan here, and it is perfectly arranging itself. So we just need to give this all text to the left hand side, as in the right hand side we have to add one image as I have shown. So we will add that image in the left hand side of our page, right? So here we will give these developers a little bit down, right? So it will look a little differently and more attractive. So let's do that and see. So as you can see, developers has gone down. To changing the line of the text, you just need to add slash n to the text, right? So as you can see, the website is looking nice, but there is one small gap. This is because we have now provided a gap between it. So let's see now. So yeah, it is looking perfectly fine, and we just need to separate the two part from center, right? In the right hand side we have to add image, and if, in the left hand side we have to add one text. So we will just add padding to it, and the padding will be a little bit different for this. So padding, not different, we have already used that padding, that is symmetrical padding. We'll give symmetrical padding to it, and so we will give vertical padding as 20 will be fine, right? So 20, and there is no need to give a horizontal padding, right? So now it is fine. So add, we have to add a image also, so we will just add image. So I just cut out this, that is material. We will just write material button here, as we have to mention our packages also to the client. So on press will be null for now. We are not going to implement the whole website, right? I'm going to just explain the basic layout, as you can add some more features if you want, and clone this whole project and make your own web app using Flutter. So this is not the place to add material button, so I will just add below padding. So yeah, this is working fine. So this is working perfectly fine. Let's move further and add some color to our material button. So color should be white, right? Because white is perfectly matching with our background color and it suits, right? So let's go on to adding white color, and then we will add a shape to our button. This is, so we will select a rectangular button, as we have added in the navigation bar. Similar type of button we will add here, but we will do some changes, right? So there are not much pretty much big changes, so we will only add a border radius. We'll give border a radius, and in this radius we will add a dot all, and then we are going to add circular radius, right? So let's add the circular radius. So let's add radius dot circular, and then we have to specify some value to the radius, right? So this value, I think that probably 20 is fine, right? So 20 is perfect for our work. So let's move on further, as we have created a button, right? So we have not declared any type of text in it. So let's create an on pressed function first, and then we will add probably a text on that. So we will implement, we are not going to give any on pressed activity for now. For our understanding, we will probably add a child, and we will implement something that is, we should know, right? The button is pressed. So let's implement it, and child text we will implement, and we will write here text that is our packages, right? So our packages is fine. So yeah, so this look fine so till now, right? So let's check it out. For before checking it out, uh let me see our code is up to the mark or not. So let's add some style to this our packages name, and we will add some text bold, right? We will implement bold, or we will see if anything is different, then we will implement that. We will add text style. So adding text style to our child. So we'll add one background. We will not add background here because we don't need anything. So we will add some color. The color is the most important part. So colors dot red is fine, right? So red button we will implement. Yeah, that's fine. So it is showing some error. So I have not specified the colon. Let's check it out on our website. So as you can see, this is not coming right. So let's check it out. We have done some mistake in our web app, right? So here is the mistake. This is the very simple mistake, right? So I'm sorry about that. Forgot to get the brackets to on press, right? So let's move further, and we have added that, and probably after this expected to find this semicolon, right? So we'll resolve this. We will see where we have missed one, where this is because of the on pressed activity. We have added this in the on pressed. So let's add this, and I will just do some changes. So this is all fine. So let's fix this problem, and I found it. Here is the problem. I have not added some bracket here, so I have added now. So let's save it. And some errors are caused in VS Code because you are not saving your files, right? So make sure that you save your files after each operation so that the error will be minimized. So I will just copy this child, whole child, and will import this after the on press activity. So let's now save it, and let's see what happens. But again, it is showing some kind of error to me. So let's check it out. So we are not going to give an extra semicolon, so that was error. Fine, now let's continue. Now let's reload our web app and see what are the changes reflected. So as you can see, you will see that yeah, our packages has been displayed, and it is looking very much awesome, right? Up till now our website is looking very awesome. So let's do some more changes. We are also going to add images too. We are going to add only one image, but as you can see, when I add a single image, you can see the effect, right? There will be much more effect. So for adding image, we will generate a simple padding, and then to separate the text and image separately. So we'll give a symmetric padding of value. Vertical padding we will give 20, and horizontal we will give probably around I think that horizontal padding 40 will be fine, right? So let's hit the save button, and let's continue. Most of the errors are caused, as I mentioned, that because of you are not saving your whole this project into VS Code, right? So let's see. So up till now it is looking fine. I will just refresh this, and as you can see, the packages sign has been increased. So yeah, that's fine. So I have added one random tagline here. Yeah, so let's see. Now we are going to add an image. So we will add above in container, right, and below the column. So make sure you write you add your image here only. So image dot asset, and we have copied our image into our project. So that is here, that is 2 dot png I have mentioned. So just copy that path, and we will paste this image dot asset in image dot asset. So yeah, now it looks fine. So let's check it out why it is giving me an error. So it is expected to find again, and then we will find the semicolon or colon we have missed. And so let's see where is so I think I have made a mistake. We are going to add below container, right, and above the widgets. So let's add our image here. So yeah, it is not giving any type of error. So let's test and run our app. So I think that image will be not displayed, so let's try it out. I will just reload this. Image is not displaying, so we have to separate the two text, right? Say in half of a screen we have to give half screen to the text and half screen to the image, right? So we will just do that thing, and let me just check if I have done any mistake here. So no, I have not done any mistake here. That is output is exit code 0. That means everything is fine. Here is the exception, that is unable to load assets. It means that the image is not loading. That means here I have this issue. So let's check it out once again by replacing the name of the image or anything type like that, right? We'll just add a width 400, height 400. Let's check this makes a little bit of difference or not. So let's check it out once again. So as I have expected that it will also not work because of some silly mistakes we have made. That is as you can see, image is not displaying in the half screen, it is displaying in the corner, right? So we will make that work. So let's go into our landing page dot, and when we squeeze it, the image is coming down, right? So we have not implemented the scroll view also, so we will implement that single child scroll view also in our web app. So let's come over here, and now we will add width to our container. That width will be I think that this is not a very good idea. We will pass the width through the this from the layout builder, so it will become more convenient. That means if the screen is large in size, then we will pass the width, that is we will pass a smaller width size. We will constrain dot biggest dot width, and we will mention the I don't know why this is not working. We have to pass just a weight. So let me see. We'll see, right. So in the weight, the constraints dot package dot weights, yes, everything is fine. So we will again. So yeah, there is not any variable assigned in the list. The upper column that will give weight. So we will pass the weight, that is for big screen it will be half, and for small screen it will be full, right? Why full and half, you will get to know in just a minute. So let's pass the width here, that is we will create a variable of double that will pass width, and we will assign this width to container as well as our image also. So let's add our width to this, that is width. The width is a variable, right, in Dart. So let's add the weight, same weight to image assets image also. So here I will add weight as width, that is a variable that we are going to pass through layout builder, that will give us the exact width we want according to the screen size. Yeah, this looks fine. So let's reload again our web app and see what are the changes happening there. So yeah, probably as I guessed, it is not working again, right? But the website developers and all, it is shrinking, right? And it is also increasing, it is leaving the hub space for the image. So some problem in our image or anything like that. So let's I will add this image. So let's probably first finish the that is we will do the two widgets in the separate part. So I'll wrap this landing page with padding. We'll add symmetrical padding to a landing page, and this padding will be somewhere around for vertical it will be around 20 is fine, right? And for horizontal it will be around 40 I think, or we should add more or less. Let's see, we can change it anytime. So let's reload again. So I hope that this error will be gone in your computer, because this is because my image is corrupted or anything like that. So what I will do, I will add this image to GitHub repository, and I will just add the image.network. So let's do that. So this image is not working, so I will add this image to GitHub or Google Drive, and then I will turn on the link sharing in Google Drive, and I will directly place a network image in this. So let's see that how it's done. So I will show you. So let's check this out. So yeah, it is not working though. So the last option we are going to try is adding a network image from directly hosting our image online. So for hosting our image online, we have to go to a GitHub or a Google Drive or anything hosting platform that is image is not accessible, that is it is returning null. So probably we will give you out a very last try to this. So everything looks very fine. Our image is also looking very good. So let's change this part. So we'll go into prospect.yaml and see if there have made some mistake. So no, before going to that, we will first try out. Let's create a simple repository. I have created this dummy repository. You have to make this public, right? So we will open this image in a new tab. So let's open it. We copy this URL and paste it in VS Code image.network. So let's paste this URL here. So let's paste this URL here. So yeah, it's fine. So let's reload our page and see if this is working. So if this works, that means I will, oh yeah, this is working, right? So but it is giving me an error, that is downward side, that your app is overflowed by this pixels or something like that. So we have to arrange a scroll view for that. So our image is loading, right, but it is not showing properly. So let's arrange also our image, and also let's implement the scroll view also. So let's implement that one first. So we are going to go to main dot so first we will check pubspec.yaml, and we will remove this. So let's do some changes in our app. So let's go to main.dart and add a scroll view first. This is the main our main priority, right? So let's add the scroll view for column, that is we will wrap with a widget. That widget will be a single child scroll view. This is very easy to implement, so let's do that first. So single child scroll view, this will give you a scrolling view, that is very then our website will look very much pretty awesome, right? So reload our project and let's see is if the pixels overflowed error is probably gone, because that was because we have not implemented a scroll view for that. So yeah, our app is loading now. So yeah, the error is gone, but as you can see the image is little bit downward and it is not very much fixed right on the screen. So it is running awesome on desktop, and we will just squeeze this for our purpose. In mobile view also the image is going downwards and it is working perfectly fine. So for mobile view, if you want to reduce the size of the image, you can do that with by playing with the width, and you can also pass the height of the image through this, right? So you can do that, right? That pretty easy. So I will leave that task to you. If you do not get how to do that, just comment down below, and I will probably add a new tutorial for this only. So yeah, we will implement some height also to our image. First we will give a padding, that will be a symmetrical padding of 20 or 20 will be fine, right? So if not, we will change this if as required, right? So it is not expecting, it is giving me an error, right? So yeah, for vertical we will give 20 padding, And as for horizontal, the width is there. So let's reload our app and let's see. So yeah, now it is looking like it is fixed and it is looking more awesome. So yeah, it is looking fine. So you can also add the all these options. So our website is looking fine, right? So there are it is looking as I have shown in the starting. And so yeah, I will push this project to GitHub. You can make changes. You can use that. You can do anything you want with this web app, right? So it is very simple. Though forgot to add this get started button in our mobile view. So let's add it. Let's again go to the navigation bar and open the mobile desktop nav bar and search for the get started button. So we'll just copy all these things. So we'll just all these things and we will paste in mobile nav bar in this we'll paste this in the padding after padding, right? So it will be fine. So yeah, so if you want another Udemy courses or anything like that, you can search for our Telegram channel. The name is given in the displayed below. So search for that. You will get awesome courses regularly, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel too. So now the website is looking very much fine and it is working, right? So you can add links to this and you can implement another pages through this. You just have to go to the link below in the GitHub and just clone it and use the project. So thank you for watching this video and make sure to subscribe to our Telegram channel too.